What's going on, guys? This is your girl Ashley Wells, aka the Life Guru, and as you can see, yes, if you've been keeping up with my recent vlogs, your girls is getting ready to move. So you're probably gonna see a lot of boxes and more clutter in the background as I'm getting myself ready to go. So, guys, craziest thing, I was watching this TV show called P Valley, season 2 actually. They are preparing for season 3 to drop anytime now. So I was watching that show, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of that show. I love that show. I love the music aspects of the show and the grind and the hustle of it. You know, the storylines. There, there was a scene. I think this was episode 5, and I don't want to give out too many details, but one of the main character's daughters got a little bit of a situation they got to take care of. And so along the way there, the girl, I think she's like 14, 15 years old, and WAP, which is What Ass Pussy, that song comes on, and she's just singing it, she just dancing, doing all this prerogative stuff, and I'm just like, and the mother is looking at her in the car too, like, first of all, this has been one of them times I probably would have lost control of that car and got hurt, because I'll be damned. But what's so funny is I had to check myself, because I was like, Ash, this was you like just 10 years ago, you know. But then I will say the music from my 10-year period of when I was, you know, even at that age, it was a lot different. So I do see now as I'm getting older, guys, getting older and more mature is a trip, because you literally do, your standards change, your taste in music change, or your taste whatsoever, all that changes. It does. It becomes more of a mature aspect. And I see that more and more now as I'm getting closer and closer to 40. I'm like, damn. And just, you know, how you grow up, you hear a lot of old school say back in my day, or well, my music was, yeah, and now I'm doing it. Because back in my day, the music was more bubblegum pop-ish. It was the most raunchiest thing we had growing up was Britney Spears when she came out with the snake on her shoulders and things. That was the most raunchiest thing ever in my era of music. So, you know, even the rap videos, the girls, you know, back in them days, yeah, they was a little sexy and prerogative, but that was it. You know, now it's like porn that you watching and hearing about in these songs now. But that brings me to this topic of positive influences, because I do see one thing I did cover in one of my topics was the fact of what's missing out there is support. But what's also missing on other aspects, especially with the younger crowd, is positive role models. We don't have many positive role models out there. It doesn't matter what the background of the person is. There's very few positive role models, individuals out there. I know like some might have Taylor Swift. I know at one period Justin Bieber was, but that kind of changed. But when I thought about it, like, you just don't have too many positive role models. And see, back then, it wasn't just artists, you know, it wasn't just music artists. You had TV actors, you had some politicians, you even had some athletes that were positive role models. And nowadays, you just don't see that too much anymore. And if you do, it's on a limited access basis. So a lot of times now you have athletes, they more or less be involved with the Make-A-Wish foundations, some different charities, but they don't cater too much to the poor. You know, a lot of times those are sponsorship type of organizations that cater to if the individual or the child is experiencing, you know, some kind of health ailment or something like that. But when it comes to everyday Joe families and teenagers and kids, you don't get too much of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think we seriously, guys, need to look into the push of providing productive and good role models for our kids and our young teenagers, and hell, even young adults, because that is terribly missing. You're not seeing that no more at all, guys. All we have, you know, like I saw old girl in that scene. I mm, mm, I wish I did have a child doing all that in front of my presence. It would, but and see, I always tell people, like, it causes a chain. It causes a bad chain. So then, that kind of reaction, what do you think is going to be the end result? I personally would not want my child to be promoting raunchy stuff like that. And then in suit, I had to understand too, like when I was a kid, my mother, I can't even say that. I was going to say she wouldn't have pushed me to be raunchy, but I don't even know what, because she was barely there in the picture a lot of times. So, but I would say for me wise, nah, we didn't have anybody raunchy back then. I mean, the raunchiest artist we supported was Tupac. And, you know, they was really on to the editing stuff back then. So a lot of this stuff, like you see it now, that shit was edited. You just now find about this stuff years later on YouTube. But they did have a strong line on what was appropriate for kids and other audience to see versus not. Now it's not so much like that. I know the conservative movement is trying to push that, but still, artist wise, you just don't. I mean, now guys, almost every month there's some kind of diss or some kind of bout and drama going on. Come on, man. What kind of inspiration is that for young fans? Seriously. No matter what you're gonna do, you're gonna spit out some kind of drama against somebody, or push some drama, and the next thing you know, bang bang, artists get killed or robbed or jacked. What kind of inspiration are we pushing out this for our young individuals out there, our future leaders out there? It needs to stop, guys. So yeah, I would say let's get some positive, influential individuals out there. And then the thing is, this is also not even just a push for parents and concerned family members, but this is also got to be a push for our radio stations, our entertainment, companies and record labels. We need to get some positive individuals out there again, because this ain't working. It's just too drama, too depressive. But I don't know, you tell me, because if that's what you like and if that's what you cool with your kids, hey, you don't gotta listen to a damn thing I gotta say. Keep that rolling for your peoples, by all means. But for the ones who are just like, yeah, I kind of want a little bit better, let me know what you think.